going to offer up a study of the 5 essential elements of the managing money matters process. And you'd say, what's in it for me? And I would say to you, what do you want financially? What are you looking for? And let's take these 5 elements and let's build out what's in it for you. Um, there's something here for everyone, but not everything is for everyone. You would have to pull out what you want and then go from there. It's kind of like the internet. Good gosh, there's everything in the world on there, but who wants to see it all? If you want to improve your financial situation, we'll take that jumble of complexities and we'll coordinate it through, and you'll end up with something you can use. Because remember, there's something here for everyone. It's kind of like a road map. Back in my day, we used a map, paper map. In fact, I still do because it works for me. I'd like to not just use GPS. I like to look out and see, hey, where am I headed? If you don't have a road map for your financial planning, any road will do. And then we end up just chasing as opposed to structuring. So let's look at the first element. It's investing. And when you boil it down, why do we invest? We'll get into that. It really gets into money habits. Hopefully they're good ones, just like health habits. We'll make some sense out of that. Big dose of budgeting. It's pretty tough in our society to not budget. We pay attention to what's coming in and what's going out. We'll look at protection. That's the second element. Let me tell you, it's just this simple. One day in everyone's life, there's a uh-oh moment. Uh-oh, did that happen? I wasn't looking. I feel funny now. Uh-oh. Or, in an instant, it's done. You're gone. It's just the way it happens. So, protection says there's some financial situations to this. Maybe we can plan out and solve some problems before things happen. And if you take one thing from this course, this study, we want to solve problems before it happens. And you watch that. That's a good mantra for you. Third, we look into taxation, and I will show you about $1 doubling for 20 years. It's an interesting play on numbers in the tax code. And by the way, the tax code, it's out there because IRS is going to draw some revenue to support our wonderful country. At the same time, there are some tax codes that let us have a little bit of a break. Let's look into that. Fourth, retirement. Fourth essential element of managing money matters. And here's the deal. If you don't plan on retirement, you could end up an old person without money. That's the worst, because then you have a couple bad choices. I call them penalties. You can keep working, or you got to maybe move in with the kids. And for some of us, we don't want to do that. Retirement planning. If you're very young, a little bit of money budgeted in, my goodness gracious, we'll introduce a concept called dollar cost averaging. It's almost magic. It's the way this stuff works. When we get back to those habits, we talked about that a little bit earlier. And finally, estate planning. It is probably the least interesting to any of us, except when you get older like me, you realize, well, I better be getting that stuff together because one day I ain't going to wake up. And then what happens to all that stuff? And let me tell you, if you wrap all this together, one day back in March, we woke up and the whole world had changed. We found out that we couldn't go to a restaurant because they were closed. Hotels almost closed down. A lot of businesses went out of business because we had something called coronavirus 19. What the heck is that? And it has affected every one of us. Now, I know there's some situations where people made a bundle on selling sanitizer or whatever it was, but the government had to go in trillions of dollars to send us a check so we could keep the businesses open. And we don't know the end of this thing. We woke up in March of 2020 and the whole world had changed. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? That's what planning's all about. Now, that's the real heart of it, is if you had a plan, you could continue on. Now, stock market crash, that's not all that bad if you're prepared for it and know it's coming. So what we want to do is bring to you real world financial management, stuff you can use. I'll be back to you.